Yeah. Every morning seems just the same old routine. Blowing trees, writing these bars, line after line, mining for a diamond, but a dime is what I find. Hiding from the truth by simply coasting through these hard times with green, even though I'm feeling blue. But I gotta face the facts, girl, you know that it's true. And maybe what I'm supposed to do is not to get so close to you. But these days the only things that seem great are fading away, and the only time I feel home is when I'm alone or far away. But the road calls as the wind blows, 10 missed calls on my flip phone, so it stays closed. Staring out my window while my mind slowly goes off into my headphones, hoping that the dough will be worth it for the show, but who knows?
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day, and there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.
Man, day after day, it's just the same old thing. Working class life, and yes, it surely will bring a food to the table and a roof when it rains. But for the most part, you're just doing the same thing. A part of a machine with a ball and a chain. You try to be happy, yet all you feel is pain. It's a shame to use your brain and know that someone never changed. But if insanity's the game, then you can take my hand and play. Life has a rhythm that I ride to, and you can come along if you would like to. And I can show you what it's like to walk in my shoes, to learn how to love just like I do. Look me in the eye and you will find truth. I'm testifying to the lying in my mic booth. And you're hating on me cause I ain't like you. I ain't like you.
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day, and there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change. Yo, my life is like a movie that nobody's producing. I write the music but nobody is moving, cause don't nobody care, and everyone's confused till the characters change and never reaching a conclusion. And I don't know if I'll make it to the end, cause all I know is after we begin, the wind shifts us in many different directions, like the pen lifts up off the paper, disconnected from anything we can feel, hear and see. And the words that I write mean something more than just to me. It's amazing that we've all grown accustomed to change, cause we can rearrange a pattern that's always been ingrained. They want us to grow up and stop acting how we want, but if you tell me I can't do something, I'll make sure it gets done. Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in going.
We gonna do this?
All right. Hey, we're gonna do this. You know what? This is messed up.
You got to hit the right buttons in the right order in order for this to happen.
You're telling me? Yeah, we were having fun.
Well, happy Sunday, Al.
Thank you. Happy Sunday to you. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm not bad. Not bad at all, man. It's really it's been a really good weekend.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it is a good weekend, as it is a good weekend for me, too. Another beautiful day in paradise, everybody out there. Oh, man. So what's on your mind? How you doing?
Well, I don't know, man. My dad celebrated his 80th birthday yesterday, so that was kind of it kind of sucked. I mean, because he's cooped up in the house. And it's not like he's going to run around and party or anything, but I'm sure that my brothers and their families live nearby.
Yeah.
And they had a nice big dinner and probably a cookout and you know, just family getting together. And it just ended up my dad made some dinner and my mom made a cake, and they just had a quiet time together.
Not a bad deal then.
No, it's not a bad deal. Like, everybody called and wished him a happy birthday. And it was fun. He said he was very appreciative of the phone calls.
Yeah.
You know, get text messages from all the grandkids and things like that. It really made his day. As much as his day could have been made.
Well, that's good.
I got caught up in, did a little bit of work Saturday, and I came home and I'm like, I really need to cut the grass. So I got everything ready to cut the grass, and I'm like, I really should pull the weeds underneath, where my bushes are.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I need to get the hedge trimmers out. And this sandwich of mine that was supposed to be just cut the grass turned into, I trimmed all the bushes, I pulled all the weeds, laid down fresh mulch, I ran the weed eater around the yard, then I cut the grass, then I raked up all my mess and threw it away. In the meantime, I got sunburnt, so that's fun.
Yeah, it does sound like
it's like the entire story of my weekend. I start off with something small, something that I would normally do. I'd normally cut the grass every weekend, but it turned into that big thing. So sometime this week, I'm probably going to wait until the weekend, but I'm get up on the roof, make sure the gutters are clear, and just general house maintenance type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I got home this afternoon. I'm like, and my normal routine is just get up, strip the bed, laundry, everything gets cleaned up. But today I'm like, I need to. I'm gonna sweep out the bathroom. So I started sweeping out the bathroom. Cool. Threw that stuff away. I'm like, the mirror needs to be cleaned. So I cleaned the mirror. Might as well. I have in my bathroom. The sink is draining a little bit slowly. So I'm like, let me bust that apart and see what I can fix. I broke it apart and I cleaned out the pipes and put it back together. Boom, fixed the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I did that. Might as well clean the sink. So here I'm neck deep in bleach and cleaning supplies, and I pretty much stripped my bathroom down. I got to use my Army training today.
Really?
I got to use my Army training today. My janitorial Army training. I'm so happy with the cleanliness of this house. I would not hesitate to invite my mother over.
Oh wow,
dude! I did good. I did good, man, and it smells nice and clean. It's just I don't know. Every once in a while, you get that little bit of motivation that kind of drives you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me yesterday and today, and I don't know if something's wrong with me, or if it's that time of year where spring has sprung and everything's waking up, and I just felt this burst of energy to clean today, and that doesn't normally happen. So
no,
it
doesn't.
As I can go and see the doctor, I'm going to go ask him if everything's okay.
Hello, Branko. How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody. I apologize. I'm just listening to this story that Mr. Koz is telling and kind of enjoying it.
Doc Derek goes, he says, is the wife slave driving you? That's the problem, Doc, is I'm not married.
Yeah.
Which is really crazy. And even when I was married, I could do that. I could clean the entire damn house from top to bottom, and she would still find something wrong with it, or you did this wrong. So yeah, I'm happy with the job that I did.
That's funny. That is funny. No, I'm glad that. Well, but getting out there and check your temperature, Doc says.
Ooh, I got another story about that. Keep on going.
Well, today, just so people know, today we do have a guest coming in the second hour. His name is Jason Murff from Grill Your ASS Off.
Grill Your Ass Off.
There you go.
It's a donkey, dude. Pull up traffic. It's a donkey. Jason
wanted a way to give back to the veterans community, so he founded Grill Your Ass Off. For every bottle of their seasonings, a portion of the sales will support a true nonprofit veteran organization or event. The products are designed with a military theme so they can give you and a friend a laugh and bring back a great memory of their service in the military. Their bottles are made in Texas with pride so you can taste the freedom.
Outstanding.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty much addicted to using my barbecue grill. If I cook 100 times, I will bet you 85 or 90 of them are on the grill. And it's not necessarily making something barbecue, like barbecuing a steak or something like that. I'll cook outside, because I've got two side burners on my grill. Plus, I've got a cast iron, a flat iron.
Yeah.
Well, I make pretty much everything that I cook. I make it outside. Unless I need like the oven or something. It's crazy, man. I love my grill. I want to upgrade because I've got when I bought this grill, a lot of you've got you barbecue people out there that some people will only use charcoal, and some people like gas. Because of my situation, I ended up buying a gas grill because it was expedient. It was I guess a little less expensive for the grill that I bought. So I've got a gas grill, but I would like to upgrade to one that does like charcoal with a big old smoke box so I can smoke some stuff. I just don't have. Maybe I'll wait till my next house. I don't really have the space.
Yeah.
On my porch for that, and it's a covered. It's a covered porch. So I don't have a lot of room for that smoke. I don't want that smoke billowing up into my house and staying in my porch and stinking up the place.
Well, I actually have a gas grill, believe it or not.
I like it. It's good. You turn it on, you cook your stuff, you
it's
in the
wonderful.
grate, and you turn it off.
To me, it's wonderful. I've been really happy. I got it quite a few years ago. I'm trying to think. I think maybe,
So, Doc, while you're thinking of that, Doc asked, how often do you buy a new tank of propane? I go through a tank of propane probably lasts me 3 months, and it's like a 12-pound tank or a 20-pound tank. It's not that big, but it lasts me.
See,
I've got a 5-burner grill, but I'm cooking for one, so I'll use like 2 of the burners. So I don't use it. It's not going full blast.
And see,
so my gas lasts a long time.
With me, I go through 2 tanks a year.
2 tanks a year?
Well, my wife and I will grill at home, but then on top of it, when we go out camping, we grill. And so between the 2, we actually go through quite a bit.
That makes sense. I mean, you do a lot of camping, and
exactly.
Get some camping done this next couple of weeks here.
I'm hoping if the moons align right and the governor decides not to hurt people,
But there's a lot of, I guess, protests. It's not like super huge protests, but it's like a protesting group of people.
Yeah.
Saying hey, it's time to open the economy. Let's get this done. More and more are popping up around the nation.
Yeah.
And I understand it. I understand getting a little bit of stir crazy, and you just want to get out. You don't want to be told stay at home and stuff's not open. And I mean, dude, I'd really like to go and get a legitimate haircut.
You and me both. Oh, how did that? I did not see a picture of your haircut.
I posted it.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, that's right, you did. No, I take that back. I did see that. I should have grabbed it.
So here I go. I really, and I didn't think that not having a haircut would bother me so much until I couldn't get one.
Mm-hmm.
And I lasted about a month, and I ordered some clippers on Amazon. I've been supporting Amazon like a lot.
Yeah.
So I got my clippers in the mail, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait until this weekend to do it.
Yeah.
And this was like Tuesday. So it was sitting there, and it was calling my name. It says, Koz, you need to cut your hair now. So I cleaned out the bathroom, and I watched about an hour's worth of YouTube videos of people cutting their own hair and how they did it, and these people were like pretty good at it, and their haircuts looked pretty good for doing it themselves.
Yeah.
So I started with the highest setting, with the highest clipper guard. And I, doing all that. So I did my entire head the same length, and then I took a size smaller guard, and I started doing the sides. And then I'm like, okay, I'm trying to do this in the mirror, and it's like you're looking into a mirror, and the reflection of that mirror is going to the mirror behind you. So everything's like backwards. and your body motions aren't what you expect them to do, what your brain processes that as being.
Yeah.
So after I cut that second cut, on the sides, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do my neckline and then I'll call it good. So I started, I got down there and, the trimmer wasn't on. I'm just kind of practicing and going, okay, here's where it starts and this is how I'm going to go. And it's just like my mind was not processing the way that my body was moving. So I was just like, rather than fixing it until it's broken, I'm just going to call this good.
Yeah.
And hopefully a legit hairstylist is going to be open up in the next week or two. It was strange. I don't know. If you're shaving your own head, yeah, great. Just go to town, and you're done when the hair's gone. But I didn't want the cue ball look. I had to settle for the Q-tip look.
Oh my. Well, I'm waiting. My wife is actually searching for our
Michael Sumner. That guy's funny. He goes, I need a haircut bad. My hair is almost half an inch long. I look like a hippie.
Yeah, so do I. I'm getting there.
Crazy. I do keep my hair pretty short.
So do
pretty
I.
Short. It's like finger length on the top, and it's like not quite skin, but there's only a little bit of hair on the sides.
I usually do
going
skin
over
on the
my
side.
ears and everything. I felt dirty because my hair was longer than I usually keep it.
See, my wife, we have clippers. We just have to find them. And she said, well, I don't know. And I said, I can do the sides. The sides. I just can't do the top. So she's going, as long as we can find them, you guys might get to see me do my own haircut, see how I do next week. But
stepping over and Mixer says he's got a little bit of a bonus thing going on because he's got a wife that's willing to cut his hair. He said my wife cut my hair and then she did a halfway decent job. Yeah. I did see that haircut, Stephen, and I think it's good.
Yeah.
All things considered, that's not bad.
Well, and it comes down to, see, I used to actually give myself haircuts in the military, just because, well, you know as well as I do, back in the early 80s, pay was not that good. You had to make that dollar stretch. So you did what you had to, and then especially if you went out into the field, you weren't always able to get people back in time to get a haircut. So you had a pair of clippers, and you were in a makeshift hospital, so you could use a little bit of the generator juice and do haircuts.
I remember whenever we went to the field, it's like whenever we'd go, man, it's just everyone would pretty much, because we'd always go out for at least a couple of weeks. Most of our field problems were about a week long.
Yeah.
Sometimes there were, a couple of weeks. NTC was a month and a week or so. We'd all shave our heads. Everybody would shave their heads just because you'd never know when you're going to.
Yeah.
It's easy to keep clean. Even when I was contracting over in Iraq, I'd shave my head.
Well, and
it's the only way to keep clean.
Even Doc is, Stephen said, my first sergeant used to cut our hair in the field, and he made us all wear mohawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever you could do that would keep. I mean, the big thing was you didn't want the hair to come out on the side. So as long as if you had hair, you wanted the hair underneath the cap. That's the way a lot of field units. That's the way they wanted it. They didn't want to see any hair. So yeah. No, if I can find my clippers this week, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see all this gone. I can't stand the hair touching my ears.
I don't know why. It's just I just don't like it. I mean, when I joined the Army, I was a long-haired hippie freak.
Uh-huh.
But as soon as of course, all through basic, it was buzzed off. But I never really had a problem. I always went and got a haircut. I was never ever told at all to Kozlowski, you need a haircut.
Well, I was in a hospital unit, and I never had to be told, but the first sergeant said, I can't demand that you do high and tight, but I can say I at least want nothing touching your ears. And you would see guys do it, the white walls, where it would be about a quarter inch around the ears, so there's no hair touching the ears, and then you see their hair just all out. Except for around the ears. Nothing was touching the ears. That was just... Sumner, Michael says, I loved it, Fort Lewis. You could get a ranger cut at any of the barbers on base. Exactly, Michael. I loved it there, too. It was great.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was in, the haircut was like $5. It wasn't that expensive.
No. Now it's 10 something. But that's still not bad. I mean, you go to try to get even just a regular high and tight into a barber shop, and you're going to pay somewhere in their neighborhood of almost $20.
Okay, interesting story. When I was looking at videos,
yes,
how to cut my hair, there was a guy that I was watching. He goes, I've been cutting my hair for the last, he threw out a number, 30 or 40 years. And he says, I've never spent money on getting a haircut. I've always done it myself. And he goes, and if you do the math, $50 a month, which is $25 per haircut, which is kind of what they cost.
Yeah.
Over the last 40 years, he goes, I've saved myself $23,000. He did some math on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's a lot of damn money.
Yeah, and it is. And people don't realize that.
But women, everyone says, oh, yeah, when women go and get their haircuts, it's always hundreds of dollars. I'm like, well, yeah, but they're not getting their haircut every 2 weeks either.
No.
They're going every few months, every 6 months maybe.
Yeah, it depends on what they're going for and everything else. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're going to probably be every 4 to 6 months, whereas a guy's every 2 to 3 weeks. And that's a big difference.
And my daughter, when she was living with me, I said, "Hey, let's go get you a haircut." I said, "Make an appointment wherever you want. I'll pay for it." So she did, and it was at I forget the name of the place, but you can go and get your feet soaked, and they'll massage you, and they give you wine and all this other stuff. It's kind of a ritzy joint.
Yeah.
And they took her in. They washed her hair, and this was like 3 hours. So they washed her hair, and they're taking their time. And my daughter's getting antsy. She's just like, "Let's get this over with." And 3 hours later, I mean, they washed her hair, they cut her hair, they styled her hair, they thinned her hair out because it was huge. I mean, that wasn't like huge big hair, but she had really thick, lots of hair. Mm-hmm. So they thinned it out, and they just did a really nice job, and that was like $208. They did a really nice job, though. Even my daughter was kind of surprised. $208, but she doesn't go but once every 6 months, 8 months to get it brought under control.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean that's where women kind of have it nice in that fashion. I have to say. I mean, they don't. I mean, they are actually. You want them to have long hair.
I'm gonna. I mean, when the salons open up, when the haircutting places open up or whatever, I'm gonna. When I go there, I'm gonna get a haircut. I don't really need one right now because I did a number on my head. I'm gonna tip these folks. If my haircut costs $25, I'm going to tip her $25. Whatever my haircut costs, I'm going to tip them whatever it costs. Just because I appreciate them very, very much. And it sucks that they've had to shut down. I've even looked on Craigslist because some of these stylists and whatever are they're that's the way they make money, and now they're not. they've lost that opportunity to make money. So they're kind of moonlighting, cutting hair in the garage or something.
Yeah.
Don't blame them at all. Not at all. But I haven't found too many.
Well, geez. I'm thinking through everything. It's like, wow. I mean, we if you think about it, everybody, we've been going through a lot over the last month, being closed in.
So Uncle Sumner says, what about women having to get their heads shaved in boot camp? I told my daughter that. I said, they're going to shave your head, right? She's like, nuh-uh. Like, oh,
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
they don't. And I told her, I said, it would probably be beneficial if you had shorter hair.
Yes.
You take care of. It doesn't take that long to dry. It's easy, easy and quick because everything's going to be 100 miles an hour. So she did get a haircut. So it was she cut like 6 or 8 inches off. And it was nice and manageable and something that she can easily put up. But I don't know about women getting their head shaved. I don't think that serves a purpose other than being, equal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can go either this way or that with it. It doesn't. It never really mattered to me. I don't. No. As long as it's manageable, as long as the female can keep it in regs while she's doing her training.
I agree with you.
Keep her hair.
As long as they're keeping it within regs, that's all that matters. Of course, I have seen some pretty interesting women's interpretation on regs, haven't you?
Yes. Anybody has been with WTF Nation Radio for a long time, we had Sergeant Major Flournoy. She was a sergeant major over in Hawaii. She had big troll doll hair. I mean, it was huge, massive, huge. Her headgear did not fit on her head. So yeah, there are those out there that have the big hair.
Exactly. I mean, and you have to admit it is funny. I mean, I used to watch women would go and get. I mean, the cap would fit as long as their hair was down the back, but if command sat there and said, "Well, your hair has to be up," they would actually have to go get bigger caps just to fit over the back of their head because of the buns that they would come up with.
Oh, I know. Sergeant Major Flournoy's hair. I mean, she was massive. It was just so massive, and she had this huge ass bun in the back. It was almost cartoonish.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, and you just sit there going, "What in the world were you thinking?"
So I'd like to thank Michael Sumner for bringing up females in the Army because I've got a little bit of an announcement, I guess, a bolo, if you will.
Okay.
You can put that graphic up now. So 3 Corps and Fort Hood need the public's help in locating a Fort Hood soldier. Fort Hood officials and special agents from the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command are asking the public's assistance in locating PFC Vanessa Guillen. She's 20 years old and a soldier stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. This is one of the more recent photographs of her. She was last seen April 22nd at around 1 p.m. in the parking lot of her regimental engineer squadron. And that's her car keys, her barracks room key, and her identification card and wallet were found in the armory room where she was working earlier that day.
Okay.
That information came from Fort Hood officials. So, if you know her, if you've seen her, give the folks over at 3 Corps and Fort Hood a call, please.
Please.
I don't know what her situation is. I don't know if she's abducted or if she's AWOL or whatever. Something tells me if you're going to go AWOL, you kind of need your wallet.
You would think, yes.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how this pans out. I hope she's safe.
I hope so too.
That's somebody's daughter. And I think I would be tearing my hair out, literally.
Yeah, you and me both, and that's sad. I mean, that is really unfortunate that has happened. Everybody needs to keep in mind that we have to care about our own. So keep her in mind. If you see her, if you have any idea about her, please contact military. Let them know that she's okay or that she's alive, whatever. The fact that there was stuff left behind, that's not a good sign.
No, it's not. I hope she's safe.
So, dang. Okay, well.
So have you experimented with? I know you're spending a lot of time at home,
yes.
Maybe more than you normally would.
Yes.
Because you're an outdoorsy guy. You like to go hiking and camping and outdoorsy type stuff.
Yes.
So a lot of people are staying inside, and when you're bored, you eat.
Ooh.
Have you experimented with any recipes? Have you tried something new? Or is it in the kitchen?
Believe it or not, and this is something you're gonna kind of laugh about this. I've been kind of preaching not preaching, but enforcing keeping a strong routine with my followers on John Owl. And what I'm telling people is, if you didn't eat it or eat that much when you were working, don't change the routine. Don't eat more. Don't be tempted. And I am practicing what I preach. I actually don't eat more. I've actually maintaining the same level of intake. In fact, because now I'm exercising on a more consistent basis, I'm actually going down in weight again. And I actually have some of my followers who have been taking my advice, because I try every Friday and Saturday to get on, plus Tuesday and Thursday I stream. And so that's 4 days a week that people see me, and I will sit there and encourage them. Remember, keep a routine. Remember, during a commercial, do some push-ups for half an hour. The next half hour during commercials, do sit-ups. In 2 hours, go for a walk. Things like that. Things to keep people moving. And I actually have some of my followers are doing it. And they're getting good results. One guy said he's actually lost 3 pounds in a week.
Wow.
But
it feels, I'm going to be the devil on the shoulder. Sometimes it feels so good to be bad.
Oh, I get that. And trust me, my wife, we talked about it, because she started doing that originally, where she started going, I'm home, food is more accessible. And that's when I said, you know what? You're home. We have an elliptical. Why don't you get into the routine? And when she started doing that, she actually started, without even thinking about it, she started laying off the snacks without even trying to lay off. She just didn't feel the need. And that has actually turned into a good thing. When she goes back to work, she's decided that she's going to do her cardio before she goes to work.
Well, it's like, we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
About bad habits.
Yes.
And good habits. They usually take about 2 weeks to really get set.
Yes.
So you get set into a good habit or a bad habit in about 2 weeks' time. So now is a good time to be practicing the good habits.
Exactly. See, I was laughing. Tina says, I rationalize it away as supporting local business through Uber
You know what?
Eats.
Oh my gosh, Tina, I did the same thing. Because for the first week of the lockdown, this is so funny, because I'm like, oh, I could really use some Chili's right now, so I'd order like fajitas. So 30 minutes later, the DoorDash person shows up with these nice hot fajitas at my doorstep. And I'm enjoying this. I'm like, this is so good. Mm-hmm. I love this. This is delicious. I'd eat every single bite. And then the next night, I'm like, that was kind of fun. I'm going to order some Buffalo Wild Wings. So then I get these hot and spicy chicken wings at my door, with macaroni and cheese and all the good stuff. And I'm like, this is wonderful. I'm like, this is really not good for me. But I'm supporting my local businesses.
Yep.
And I ran for that for like the first week. Every dinner I had was from some other restaurant in the neighborhood.
It's not that I don't support it. In fact, my wife's company said once a week you can use it as an expense and go ahead and buy a lunch from a local, not a chain, but a local restaurant. And we will...
My company's doing the same thing, except, we're all working. We're all essential or whatever, national defense type stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like once a week, they're buying lunch for everybody, and then also once a week they're providing snacks.
And see,
fresh fruit, granola bars, nuts, and juice and whatever.
And with my wife, they say once a week. So once a week, she'll go. We'll get something, and from a local, and otherwise, she's eating, she says, I'm eating healthier, and So she's actually doing better with it. The only thing I experiment, if you want to know experimentation, I experiment with the dips. Because I cook chicken. I pre-cook chicken, so I just take it out and microwave it. And so to me, the thing that entices me is the dip. So I've been experimenting making dips.
Have I got a recipe for you? I had this on Friday night. It's basically chicken nachos.
Oh, okay.
2 cans of cream of chicken soup,
Ooh.
a can of black beans, a can of Rotel, a cup of cheddar cheese. I put more in just because I like cheese. About 2 chicken breasts diced. You throw it all in the crock pot for about 4 or 6 hours, and then pour that over nachos.
Oh, jeez.
Pour it over tortilla chips, right? So good, dude. Oh my gosh, that is so yummy.
And see, that's the type of thing I'll play with is the dips, because the food itself, I try to keep basic, low carb, high protein. David.
See, here you are being a stick in the mud again. If you're going to make a dip, you got to make it good.
I do, and that's the difference. Is
there's good carb. If there's carbs in it, I'm not saying
well,
good carbs.
I don't go haywire, and you got to remember, I have to be very careful because I don't work, because I don't exercise like most people, because I do have a thyroid problem and a pituitary gland problem. I have to be careful because I can gain weight in a matter of a week. And
get that nice juicy chocolate cake, you're going to gain 4 pounds.
Oh God, that's just it. It would take nothing for me to gain weight. And not only that, because of those problems, I have to worry about diabetes, even though I'm not diabetic. My doctor has said, you have to be very, very careful at this point.
Oh, David Cedeno said kettlebell workouts have helped him. That's awesome. I want to say it was one of those fit ass actors. Who's the guy that played Thor?
I don't know.
Hemsworth.
What?
Hemsworth, is that his last name?
I don't know. I haven't watched that one.
His name is really escaping me right now. But he was doing. It was either him or Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Doing just workout videos for an hour or so a day.
Oh, yeah,
45 for an hour a day on YouTube. And it's just them working out. And they did a lot of workouts with kettlebells, just things that you can find around the house.
Well, not everybody has kettlebells. All I do is
use a gallon jug and fill it with water.
That's what I tell people is, if it comes down to it, take a gallon jug, pour a cup of water in it, use it as for your shoulders and your arms, and in a couple days, pour another cup in it, and increase your weight like that. You don't know what the weight is, but you're increasing the weight over time, so therefore you're not hurting yourself. David said Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan does it too, yeah. Joe Rogan's he's a beast, dude. Yeah. I don't know where he gets his energy from. It's probably from all that elk meat that he eats. But man, that guy, that dude's a beast.
But think about this. Some states, like your state, are starting to open the door to the shutdown. They're actually entering into phase 1. Georgia has entered into phase 1. A couple other states have entered into phase 1. And there's more on the horizon. Like they're saying there's a chance my state will go into phase 1.
Oh, in case you're wondering, a gallon weighs about 8.3 pounds.
Okay, the closest I get to a hard workout is watching Rocky training montage. There you go, Michael.
you get the good feeling in your heart and soul without the exertion.
No, what I actually do is come on. We were all in the military. We know street board and everything. I tell people, if it's been a long time, bend your knees. It's really an easy push-up, and eventually you can do the board push-up where you're straight and everything else, but work your way up. I mean, I've encouraged the people who come to my chat, who follow me, to think it through the proper way And like I said, I'm actually getting people who have results. They're actually doing it. And I mean, it makes them feel good, but it makes me feel good that I know I was able to encourage them to change their routine, because the one thing I'm telling people, you have a choice between now and when the shutdown is over. You can come out of it depressed, having learned nothing and feeling like crap, or coming out of it feeling better, possibly in better shape, and having learned some lessons about your finances, where your holes are in your finances, where your what could how could it have gone better? And it makes a difference, because if you think about it, okay, how many people are sitting there going, okay, if I would have just had $1,000 set aside, I could have done better.
You know, with all these, and I brought this up in the chat during ICE's show Monday. No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday. I said, with all these soldiers that are, having to stay in the barracks and they can't really get out and go do stuff.
Yeah.
What an opportunity for you to save some bucks. I mean, if they're not drinking it away, which is entirely a possibility, boy, you can come out of this little quarantine time with a nice looking bank account.
Exactly, but there, then you look at people who are civilians, and it's like, okay, even if you manage to not be laid off, could you have had if you would have had a couple extra $100 or a couple $1,000 laid aside for an emergency, would that have made this shutdown easier on you? And say you were one of the people who were laid off and you had to wait until unemployment kicked in. Would having a couple extra $100 or $1,000 have made your life a little better? And that's the whole idea, is learn from this experience.
I'm an older guy, so I know how to plan, and I usually I like to keep about a month and a half set aside for emergency or situations just like this. Who would have thought that the entire economy would be brought to almost a screeching halt?
Yeah,
because of some kind of a pandemic outbreak.
And that
no one really expected that to happen.
No.
And this is a global thing.
And this is what we need to start thinking about, because this is the new reality. We don't know come this winter if it's going to resurge enough to where they're going to try it again. So the best thing you can do is say, okay, even if it's not COVID, well, Hunan, not Hunan, they said there was a resurgence of the H1N1. It showed up again over in China again.
Oh, the swine flu, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, could you imagine if that got out right as we get done with this? I mean, this is what we need to think about, is we can no longer say we're fine. This is the downside, and everybody says, we need globalization. This is the downside to that type of thinking is...
I think that once this is over with, there's going to be I hope to see a reawakening.
Yes.
Where America, the United States of America becomes more self-sufficient and less reliant upon other countries. China goes without saying, but other countries, I mean, we need to be self-sufficient. And if we can, allow some of our stuff to be manufactured overseas, then fine, but we need to, they can supplement what we manufacture.
Yeah.
But we need to kind of take the bull by the horns and be able to take care of us. And it's not, I don't say that to be mean to other countries, but
no.
You got to take care of your own house first, or else you're not going to be able to help anybody else.
And that's the big thing right now, is even in the Senate, they're talking, Senate, and not so much in the Congress, but in the Senate, they're trying to investigate, and they're looking into how do we separate from China specific things that could cause us great harm, like it did this time. In other words, pharmaceuticals, masks, things that. And then they've actually said they started looking into the fact, where do we get our parts for our jets? Where do we get our parts for our Humvees and all those vehicles that we have? And they're like, too many of that stuff is no longer made in the USA. And all it takes is a country that, we go to war, and a country that is supplying something doesn't like the fact that we're doing that, and they can cut off our supply. And that's all it would take. So there's a big the Senate has realized it. Some in Congress have realized it, and the president has realized it. And I think that that's a good thing. I don't think that we need to be outsourcing so much of what we rely on. We need to bring it back into the USA. And they're like, well, the price will go up. They've even shown not by much, by pennies, just a couple of pennies. Because after you get done with shipping, it kind of balances out. So, I don't know. I mean,
it's
ahead.
good to be a global partner.
Yes.
But it's also good to be able to take care of your own people when the need arises. And I think we're seeing that now.
Yes.
I mean those in charge, those that make these decisions. So I was gonna mention something because we started talking about soldiers kept up in the barracks and people that aren't going to work and having to stay home. Ship posted this. He said that there's 3 ways to come out of this lockdown. You're either going to be a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk. Your choice.
The problem is I have to agree with him. I mean, okay, I've had some of my followers are alcoholics, and they've said that it's become a problem for them. And at that point, you have to go, okay, what can you do? And that's where I had to bring in, okay, this is where you need to, go with the old saying, and idle hands are the devil's playground. So you go ahead. Hey, Logan, what are we talking about? COVID. Why not? The big thing is making a routine is what keeps you from thinking about how depressed you are or how anxious you are or the fact that there's a bottle of gin sitting there right beside you. That's all it really takes is just going, you know what? I don't want, or I've got something to do and I don't really want to drink because I don't want to ruin it.
There was someone made a comment. It was on some discussion board that I was reading. It wasn't Facebook. It was somewhere else. But they were talking about someone was bitching and complaining. It's like, why is Home Depot and why is Lowe's still open? People are in there just getting like little craft things for their house, and they're doing things that aren't necessarily necessary.
Yeah.
But so they were complaining that why are these hardware stores still open? And someone, a very smart person, I have no idea who they are, said that what if the person they're going to buy a gallon of paint is trying to occupy their time because they're a recovering alcoholic or a drug addict, and they're trying to stay busy, to keep their mind off of taking that next drink.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
That really kind of opened my mind up a little bit. A lot of things. I've been doing a lot of surfing, like just paying attention. On Twitter, I spend a little bit more time on Twitter, mostly reading. But when I respond, it's usually to like Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
She'll say something, and I'll be like, man, just get, and I'd say something. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why? Because she's Queens, New York. It's on the east side of the river. Saying that, and it is, Queens is the Bronx is one of the most hardest hit with this COVID thing in New York.
Yeah.
And she said, all these lower income people are getting are getting the Rona, and I'm like, if people would, I can see this because everyone in New York kind of lives on top of each other. The population density is huge.
Yeah.
The rate of infection right now is 1,367.6 people per 1,000. That's the highest in the country.
Yeah.
They're just getting hammered, and so I kind of gave her a hard time, and someone responded to me and said, hold on a second, listen, because there are people that are still working that live in these low-income areas, and guess where they have to go? They don't have a car. The reason why you have this opinion is because you have a car. You wake up in the morning, you get in your car, you drive to your job.
Yeah.
In New York, especially in New York City, people get up in the morning, they take their shower, they get on the subway where they're standing shoulder to shoulder with somebody else.
Exactly. And
they're going to their job. And I'm like, man, I never even thought about that. It never even occurred to me. It never occurred to me. I live in Fort Worth, wide open area here. Everyone, there's really there's no subway.
Yeah.
There is a train between, the Fort Worth and Dallas and whatnot, but that's not me. I don't have to use that. I prefer to drive. I couldn't take a train even if I wanted to get to my job. So it just didn't occur to me that, wow, these people are getting up every morning and they're getting on a damn subway. They're not getting into their car.
Yeah. And
so I fumbled and I apologized and
that's just it. And that's something you have to keep thinking about is everybody is in their own different situation and you can't know everybody's situation, but you can know that people are anxious. You can know that people want things to change and to move forward.
The longer this goes on, the more anxious people are going to become.
Oh, they've said the depression rate right now, there are people who said they had no emotional, psychological issues whatsoever, are now having anxiety issues. They said prescriptions are being wrote by the handfuls across the U.S. for depression and anxiety. And that's not surprising.
There's one demographic that I'm sure that doesn't affect as much, and that's the veteran population. I think as veterans, we're just like, all right, this is the suck. You just got to do this for a while, and it'll be over. Well, and we kind of accept that.
Yeah, I've actually, breaking news, if your state opens before you personally think it should open, you have the right to stay home. Exactly, David.
That's exactly what I'm probably going to do because I think as soon as the states start opening, people are going to go out. They're going to continue on the way things were before the lockdown happened.
Yes.
And I think there may be a tick up as far as infections go.
And I'll agree with that.
I think the only thing that I'm going to do is I am going to go buy tile for my kitchen. And I am going to get a legit haircut. And other than that, I'm not going to be out and about doing things.
And that's kind of my wife. She said, if they open up, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm one of those people they keep saying if you're an immune compromised person. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not going to venture out because I'm not even going to go to the gym. I already have a routine going here. I'll keep it. The only thing I may do is, like you said, I'll go get a haircut. I'll go camping. But where I'm going to camping, I don't have to worry about it. And at that point in time, I'm still going to be careful because there are other people out there that can go and they'll be fine. I'm not one of them. My wife has even said she's going to talk to her boss if they try to open up this week. She said she's going to talk to her boss about seeing if she can still stay for another week or two, just to make sure, because she doesn't want to bring it to me.
Yeah, I talked to my daughter. She's up in Montana, so I'm asking her, how things are going, and how she's dealing with it. She's working.
Yeah.
My other daughter is not. She's actually going to school, and of course, school's not in session, so she's kind of cooped up at home.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, my daughter will go over there, and they'll spend time together apart, socially distanced, I guess, and they'll go and bike ride in the park or something. I'm not sure if Yellowstone's open. And I told her, if you can go to the park, go out there, take a drive, take a long drive, just go, drive there together separately.
Yeah.
And drive through the park and take a walk and, just get out. Don't be a prisoner in your own home.
And that
it's possible in every state. You can still go out and walk and exercise. As far as I know, unless California did something crazy.
Yeah. And hello, Logan. It is good to see you. Good evening. No, that's just it. There are a lot of things that are still open and that you can do. And when they open things up, it doesn't mean you need to go hog wild. I was talking to Koz about this week. I went to Yokes. I had to get something, and of all things, I went to Yokes. If you don't know, that's a grocery store, a local grocery store. People weren't wearing masks, and I could not believe it. I'm wearing a mask. What
has it been mandated where you are?
We're on shutdown, so people really aren't supposed to be going out anyway.
But you can go out and you can go to a grocery store. You can go and get gas in your car. You can't go to a hobby store. You can't go to get your nails done.
Yeah, you can go to a grocery store, but you can't go get your nails done. You can't do stuff like that. Restaurants are closed, so on and so forth. They're not mandating masks, but to sit there and not have one makes no sense. If you're, to me, it makes no sense. And they actually now have them for sale. They actually have them in the store.
So they're available.
And they are available. And nobody is wearing them. And I just looked at I went a second time with my wife, and she said, this is horrible. What are they going to do when we go into the next phase? Because that is part of what is supposed to be part of the next phase is you take precautions as you open things up. Well, people aren't taking precautions even though we're shut down.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
Down in Houston, they actually had a mandatory masks. You have to have you have to cover your face.
Yeah.
The news reported that face coverings are mandatory. So they said you can use just a regular cloth mask. You can put a scarf over your face or bananas.
Bananas?
They mistakenly said bananas. They meant to say bandanas.
Bandanas, yeah.
Well, I think it was one of our listeners posted that.
That is funny.
I'd be like, I would be the guy out there, with a banana hanging out in front of my face, and
for fun, right?
just for fun. But less than 24 hours later, there were hundreds of pictures of people with like bunches of bananas strapped to their face. It was awesome. It was awesome.
You gotta love it.
So, as a nation, we haven't lost our sense of humor. Hi, Dustin Perkins from Fort Drum. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
So, if you're hungry, you're going to be even hungrier after we come back from this break when we're joined by our guest from Grill Your Ass Off.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun interview, and if you're hungry, you're going to be even hungrier.
He is going to be talking about the seasonings and the organizations that they, nonprofits that they donate a portion of their sales to. I'll be curious. I really will be curious to see or to hear about it. I mean, that has to be fun. I guess they support grill masters and all that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Jason Murff is going to join us here after the break. He's just the owner and CEO of Grill Your Ass Off.
So that should be fun. And we are actually getting close to the top of the hour, Mr. Koz.
I know.
So what are you having for dinner tonight?
I have already eaten dinner.
Oh!
It was on the grill. I've learned, and of course, how I was talking about experimenting with new recipes. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a new recipe that I was working with that's really not a new recipe. It's a cheeseburger.
Oh, okay.
It's the smash burger version of that.
Okay,
and
okay.
You don't season your meat at all. When you're mixing up the ground beef, you use 80-20.
Uh-huh.
You cook it on a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
And you put it down in 2.5 ounce ball.
Okay.
So 2 of those, and 2 of these per burger. You put it down, you smash the crap out of it. Just smash it so it's super duper thin, really thin, about as thin as you can get it.
Yeah.
And then you let it cook for just a couple of minutes. This burger is done in just a couple of minutes because it is so thin. So the skillet's got to be hot, like as hot as you can get it.
Yeah.
And this burger cooks in a matter of minutes, both sides. So if you're going to go out there, you have your cheese ready and whatever you want to put on top of it. So you smash this burger down, you season it on the skillet with a little bit of salt. You flip it over, but you have to have a good spatula, a really stiff spatula.
Oh yeah, for something that thin.
That char. You want that char on that burger.
Yeah.
So you flip it over, you add cheese, you let it cook for another minute, and then you stack your burgers and put it on a toasted bun, and it is so freaking good.
All right, everybody, if that didn't make you hungry to get a snack during the break, I don't know what did.
I'm sure Jason's going to take it the rest of the way.
Okay, I'll go. You want me to go ahead and go to him?
Go to Jason.
All right. Hello, Jason. Hello?
Hey.
I was about ready to go on break, but you decided to come on in. So,
do we need to push it back some?
Well, tell you what. We can do a quick 5-minute break if you don't mind putting you on hold. Is that okay, or do you want me to call you back?
Doesn't matter to me.
Why don't I call you back in about, let me see, what kind of music do I have lined up? Everybody, this is Jason. Why don't I call you back in about 9 to 10 minutes? And
all right, sounds good.
At that point, we will be off break, and we can start talking about your season, because I actually am interested.
Good. I'll let you know how it's like eating ass.
Thank you. I needed to hear that. All right, everybody. That's Jason. We will be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. It should be a fun time. And we'll talk to you later, Jason. Talk to you in about, like I said, 10 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, and everybody else, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break for 10 minutes. Everybody go stretch, get those arms up, go pee, go get those snacks after Koz talked food, and we will be back in 10 minutes. So, shots.
Before coffee on a Tuesday, it's already been a bad week. My girls had a couple flats, and my dishwasher sprung a leak. From the kitchen, her complaining, you know it just ain't cute anymore. I get the itch and start to drift towards the great outdoors. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tarp. I need a reset to my spot, I hear the call. I just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone. Junk mail don't come out there, my phone won't ring. The only thing I want to hear is my reel with a big one on a string. That large mouth don't talk at all, and my weight just sinks away. Set him free, bring him home, the one decision I gotta make. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tarp. I need a reset to my spot, I hear the call. Just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone. I got my tackle box in the front seat and my best friend in the bed. Don't come looking for me, 'cause I ain't coming home till long after that sunset. I smell the honeysuckle blooms. I can see the red buds too. I got the rods in my garage down on the wall. Threw my John boat in the truck, filled my Camel cooler up. I hit the reset, hit my spot, and heated that car. I just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone. No, I ain't gone messing. I've just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone.
Every morning seems just the same old routine. Blowing trees, writing these bars, line after line, mining for a diamond, but a dime is what I find. Hiding from the truth by simply coasting through these hard times with green, even though I'm feeling blue. But I gotta face the facts, girl, you know that it's true. And maybe what I'm supposed to do is not to get so close to you. But these days the only things that seem great are fading away, and the only time I feel home is when I'm alone or far away. But the road calls as the wind blows, 10 missed calls on my flip phone, so it stays closed. Staring out my window while my mind slowly goes off into my headphones, hoping that the dough will be worth it for the show, but who knows?
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day, and there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change.
Man, day after day, it's just the same old thing. Working class life, and yes, it surely will bring a food to the table and a roof when it rains. But for the most part, you're just doing the same thing. A part of a machine with a ball and a chain. You try to be happy, yet all you feel is pain. It's a shame to use your brain and know that some will never change. But if insanity's the game, then you can take my hand and play. Life has a rhythm that I ride to, and you can come along if you would like to. And I can show you what it's like to walk in my shoes, to learn how to love just like I do. Look me in the eye and you will find truth. I'm testifying to the lying in my mic booth. And you're hating on me cause I ain't like you, and I ain't like you.
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day, and there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change. Yo, my life is like a movie that nobody's producing. I write the music but nobody is moving, cause don't nobody care and everyone's confused till the characters change and never reaching a conclusion. And I don't know if I'll make it to the end, cause all I know is after we begin, the wind shifts us in many different directions, like the pen lifts up off the paper disconnected from anything we can feel, hear and see. And the words that I write mean something more than just to me. It's amazing that we've all grown accustomed to change, cause we can rearrange a pattern that's always been ingrained. They want us to grow up and stop acting how we want, but if you tell me I can't do something, I'll make sure it gets done. Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day, and there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change. No, we're never gonna change. W.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
All right, everybody. We are back. And now I will call our guest who was nice enough not to get mad at me saying I needed to take a break, because I really did. Oh, excuse me. Let me get it all set up. Jason, and there we go. And hello, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm in a great mood. How about you?
I am wonderful.
So
I have no idea what day it is. It's like day 764 in quarantine, and we're rocking it.
I love it, man. Excuse me. That's great, man. It's great to have a positive attitude, at least. And I caught from what you said earlier, you have a positive attitude towards the name of your company.
That goes all the way back to the very beginning, and the thought of even creating this company is to have a positive outlook on it, because especially in our field of veterans and first responders, having a little bit of humor can save a lot of lives.
I agree with you 100%. So I have to ask, okay, you were in the service?
Yes, I was. I was an 11 Bravo in the Army.
Okay. From what to what?
12 to 15.
12 to 15. Wow, okay. How many times did you go over?
0, actually.
Oh, you were one of the lucky ones.
Debatable. The whole entire reason why I joined was to, obviously go over and actually do some work.
Yeah.
And I got sent to the old guard straight out of basic training.
Really?
The volunteer-only unit, I was voluntold, even though that I wasn't even tall enough to be in the old guard. So, you know how the Army works.
Oh, of course. So you spent your time in the old guard. That must have been interesting.
To say the least, yeah.
Okay, so now what made you come up with seasonings, and what made you come up with the name? And I need you to tell me what kind of seasonings you've got.
So it's a pretty long story, and starting back before I was in the Army, and I was actually doing all of my paperwork to get in the Army. My parents had owned a hardware store and decided to do a cook-off, to do a fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network, and they called it Grill Your Ace Off, since they had a Ace Hardware.
Okay.
And we always joked around with the name, and Children's Miracle Network was really big with us in raising money because of my nephew having to spend most of his early days and still currently at Texas Children's Hospital. So we've had a lot of experience with that, and they've taken very great care of him. So we've always wanted to give back, and that was a way of giving back in 2011.
Okay.
And I had left for the military, and being stationed in D.C. and pretty much the East Coast, and I know y'all are over there, so I'm sorry, but this is just my personal opinion. Y'all lack a lot of flavor. And the time at the old guard, it's a very respectful, honorable thing to do. It can also be very extremely boring outside of duty hours. So I fell in love with fitness and started doing physique competitions.
Wow.
With doing that, you have to be very strict on your diet. Being very strict on your diet, the food gets very bland.
I agree with you 100%. You're actually talking to. I actually competed in bodybuilding at one point back when I was young,
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, you totally understand. So
yes.
being stuck in DC, I'd go to the grocery stores and I'm like all y'all have is just basic generic spices. Like, this sucks.
Yes.
So I would have my family and my friends ship me all of the seasonings I had always used and loved whenever I was in Texas. And it kind of got to the point to where I was cooking every single meal I would eat and meal prep. And I'm like, why does this seasoning taste so good? What is behind it? And that never sparked anything of like, yeah, I'm going to start a seasoning company. What actually ended up happening is I ended up destroying my ankle, getting medically discharged, moving back to Texas, and then starting flight school using my GI Bill in Waco, Texas, and becoming a pilot. And as I was going to school to become a pilot, I quickly realized that flying a school bus in the air is pretty boring. The pay's
right?
good, but I'm not a person that can sit for more than 5 minutes without losing my mind.
Yeah.
So I got, a crazy idea to start doing seasonings, and kind of needed a path to project a business on, which this would have been my third business venture at the time.
Okay.
And so I had a decent grip of where I wanted to take the business. And the initial goal was, well, let me do a Grill Your Ace Off seasoning, and we can, give a lot of the proceeds back to Children's Miracle Network and Texas Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And Ace Hardware Corporate actually shot it down before it could even become a reality.
Okay.
So at that point, it was just kind of like, well, shit. I don't really know what I'm going to do at this point. So fast forward a couple weeks later, I had a couple drinks and thought it would be funny to just go ahead and do Grill Your Ass Off. So I paid a guy $15 on Fiverr in Venezuela to draw me a donkey on a grill.
Okay.
And that is the logo that we still have today.
That's funny.
and that was kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. I was ready to, walk away, not do any of this at that point, and I was just kind of like, you know what, screw it, wasn't meant to be. I'll finish college and then figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that donkey and shared it with my dad right away, and a lot of the guys I was in the military with, and they all loved it and thought it was hilarious. And then it was kind of like, well, since it's not Grill Your Ace Off and we're not directly related to Children's Miracle Network at this point.
Yeah.
I want to take it and be able to benefit what I've experienced in my life. And that is sense. All the amazing people I've met throughout my military career. And before I was in the military, while I was in and while I was out, and how can I give back to that? So by having the name Grill Your Ass Off was already a point to be able to make someone laugh just by saying the word ass.
Yeah.
And then it was, well, what do we call the seasonings to be able to relate and roll on to that? And initially we did Madu steak seasoning, and that was my first seasoning of like, well, I want a badass, awesome steak seasoning. So we sat there, kind of crafted back and forth. I was talking to a few different people that I knew that was somewhat in the industry, but not really, and other friends I had grilled with before. And I kind of created a seasoning that is everything you want on a steak. It has all the key characters of a Montreal steak seasoning, a steak dust. I have heavier granulates and smaller granulates of certain ingredients inside there. I have dehydrated Worcestershire sauce. I have citrus peel inside there. So literally anything you could want on a steak is packed inside of a bottle. And I'm like, all right, well, this is like the ultimate steak seasoning.
Yeah.
Well, if this is the ultimate steak seasoning, I'm going to create more products. Like, what should I call them all? And I was like, well, I'll just go by every caliber that we have in the military. So obviously I'll start off with Madus. And that's how Madus was born. And then to bring it back even more behind it, because a lot of people don't realize by looking at the label, if you look at the label of Madus, it's a cartoon cow shooting a Madus.
Yeah.
That cow has a red red bandana on. And the reason for that is my best friend's older brother is the one who drew that cartoon. And whenever I sent it to him, I sent him a photo of a cow, and I sent him the photo of Rambo with the red bandana on shooting the 50 cal that everybody uses in the memes. And I said, merge these two. And that's how we have that label.
I love it, man. And I'm actually looking at your website as we're talking. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasonings that I see in bottles.
Yep, we got 7 bottled seasonings. We have a 5-pound bag of crawfish boil. All the bottled seasonings we offer in 5-pound bags as well. We do a gift pack to where it's called the Box of Ass, to where all the seasonings come inside of a 50 cal ammo can, like legit brand new metal ammo can. We have the A-Team, which is just all the seasonings coming together as a package at a discount. We do 3 different flavors of barbecue sauce, a bacon bourbon, a honey habanero, and an original. We've got 6 different flavors of beef jerky. And the newest products that I have, the most that I'm proud of, is actually our smoked sea salts that we have. I got a whiskey smoked sea salt, a alderwood smoked sea salt, and a black cherry smoked sea salt.
Nice. That really does sound good.
We did months of recipes and taste testing and failures, and finally perfected it to where I guarantee you, the second you open that bottle, you will know how high quality and amazing of a product and unlike anything you've ever had before is.
Well, Tina says, you're telling me I can throw a seasoning called Grill Your Ass Off onto a Boston butt. Sold!
Well, and if you're doing that, I would recommend the Infidel pork rub to go on it.
Okay. See, this is fun, and I'm having a fun name helps. It's something that can... Now, guys, he actually has T-shirts. Grill Your Ass Off. No joke.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of fun T-shirts. I mean, one of the original T-shirts was the Rub My Meat T-shirt.
I love it.
And then now we have stuff. We're starting to get a little bit more back into the humorous side of things. Denny, I see he just jumped in the chat. But yeah, no, he's got amazing. We got amazing T-shirts that we've been able to add on there with all of us. That's been a blast to be able to push.
So now I have to ask, you say a portion goes back to the military, to nonprofits. Can you tell what nonprofits you've actually given to thus far, or is that something that's anonymous?
No, so we do it in a lot of different ways versus just doing a strict monetary value. The way that we're able to help out more people and more nonprofits, I've found by us just writing a check, is I'd love to be able to donate as much as we possibly can in physical products to silent auctions, doorbuster deals for the nonprofits and everything like that. Because a lot of times for a silent auction, we can donate a package or a giant gift pack of seasonings.
Yeah.
And we can do that multiple times a month. And at a silent auction, we might be able to bring in $400 to $600 on this, cool gift pack of ass.
Yeah.
And I can't, sit there and afford to write a $600 check to multiple nonprofits a month.
That makes perfect sense. That really does. Now,
so we do a lot of stuff like that, and then as well we do monetary stuff. We're currently working with Veterans Resource Group that hosts the Burbiz events that I'm a big part of and a huge supporter and recommender of. And we're actually getting everything worked on the back end of the website to where we'll be able to do a roundup program with them. So whenever you go to check out on the website, you'll have the option to be able to round up to a whole dollar and then donate that.
Okay. And everybody, I actually did post it. It is in the description. You will actually see. Did I manage to pull that off? I'm trying to think. I think I got it there. Yes, I did actually. Grill your ass off. Facebook, so you can go there, and from there you can go to anywhere you want. It directs you to website. It also gets you in touch. It's a good way to do things, and it's a veteran run. It's also USA pride, something that you know you're getting from the USA. It's being manufactured here, and it's veterans pride, something that we can say that is coming from a veteran and helps out veterans. So keep this in mind when you're looking for seasonings, because I'm actually sitting there going, yeah, my diet is always pretty bland, and that wouldn't sound too bad for me.
Yeah, and obviously we have 7 different bottled seasonings along with everything else, and the main goal with all of the products that I create is I want it to be as universal as possible. So it's not just, okay, I have a steak seasoning, I can only use it on steak. That steak seasoning is amazing on chicken and eggs and anything else you can throw it on. So
I agree with you, because I've actually seen some people out there that will sit there and say, they'll label it as pork seasoning, and then turn around and I've used it on something else. It's like, I'd prefer it on this. But it's the stigma of, well, that's what this is made for. And it's like, they'd be smarter just to say, it leans towards this flavor. It leans towards this flavor rather than it's a pork seasoning. So I agree with you on that. Giving more, sit there and say this is cherry mesquite, or this is, something like that, then I can decide what it would be good towards.
And the only kickback that I've seen with that is if we don't have a generic description, like if I'm not actually there to explain to the person, like, this is the product that I created for the flavor profile, this is what it is great on.
Yeah.
People will literally look at the product and be like, oh, well, it's a brown sugar chipotle pepper mix. I don't know what that'll be good on. They'll put it down and then they'll pick up the one that says pork rub right next to it. And it's like, have an imagination, people. But then again, we have people every day that will come up to us at events or hit us up on the customer support chat and say, so I don't have a grill, I have a smoker, or I don't have a grill, I only have an oven. Can I still use your product?
Oh, geez.
And I'm like,
and you just want to, you smile and you say, that's okay.
Yep.
Oh, Josiah. Here we go with the jokes. Looks like I got some asses to grill. And then
once you put it on your meat, you're going to want to swallow. So.
And then you have Denny saying, I love eating Jason's ass. There we go. You had to go there.
Denny's actually the CEO of OP Veteran. If y'all haven't heard of that, this is a great nonprofit.
We have. He's actually been on the show.
Oh, awesome!
Hi, Denny. I remember you.
Yeah, he gets to see my ass quite often. So,
isn't he just so privileged? Yes, Kenneth. All this ass talk, and everybody. If anybody knows me, I don't say. I'm probably the least. I'm the one who doesn't swear on WTF. So for me to sit there and say this, I'm sure people's going, "Oh, Owl actually swore."
Well, I mean, we are talking about a business name, so it's okay.
Exactly. Hi, my name is Rooster. Have we met? ¿Qué pasa?
And Kenneth, if all this ass talk is getting you excited, on our website we actually have recipes to where we show you how to apply our product to the ass.
Oh boy, food porn. Okay, I mean, I love it. Everybody, keep the fact that in mind right now that Grill Your Ass Off does actually contribute to the veterans community. And that, in fact, Jenny Katana of OP is actually knowledgeable and actually probably knows about this. So you know that it's a true functioning system to where he commits to nonprofits. So keep these things in mind when you're going to look for seasoning. I'm actually sitting there going, I could use something like this because, well, like I told you, I used to be a bodybuilder. Well, I've gotten kind of old and broke up. I'm kind of banged up and going to crap. And so I actually have to watch what I eat now. And my doctors bitch me out and say, well, you need to keep your weight down and so on and so forth. And so I have to go back to the old protein diets. And you know how crappy those are.
Yeah, and that's and one of the things with that is starting this company, I never thought that we would take off and be a premier online seasoning company, because myself personally starting this business, I was like, well, I would never buy barbecue seasonings off the website. Like, why would I do that? I would just go to the store.
Yeah.
So one of the goals with that is building a business is you would build the business to be able to get yourself to purchase from it. So one of the cool things that we have is our actual sample pack on the website. And by having that on there, you're able to try all 7 of the seasonings in a 17-gram pack shipped to your door for $12.99.
Nice. Okay.
So you can try all 7 of the bottled products shipped to your front door in a convenient, cool little MRE-looking box for $12.99.
You're really making it hard for me to say no about this, aren't you?
Well, that's the goal. That's just good business.
And then he's got some really nice shirts. I do love the shirts. I saw those. I was almost tempted, and the only reason I don't do it is because it would probably trip people up is if I were to go in and try to do a grab of your website. The screen would go black for a second, and that's not cool to people. But no, the website is actually pretty cool, and so I mean the swag, the T-shirts. They are funny, guys. They really are. I do like them. So keep it in mind if you're looking for seasonings. Now, come on, Koz was just talking about it, and we were talking about how when you're sitting at home during this shutdown, how food is getting boring. And you have to admit it, guys. You're doing stupid stuff because you're just bored as all get up. This looks good. Put it on this. Okay? Well, go out and get some seasonings. Add in some stuff. Fire up your grill. It's that time of year where you could probably fire up your grill at this point. So go out, buy this stuff, and have some different seasonings to throw on it. Something that, instead of going to the generic, I'll go down the cooking aisle and I'll get this seasoning. That's what I always get. Well, try it different. Try something different. And you know that this is actually going to nonprofits via his actual product where he's making it for silent auctions. And that's actually pretty cool, and I agree with that, because where if he were to write a check versus giving something in silent auction makes a lot bigger difference, and at that point that is a complete profit for the nonprofit that he gives it to. So keep that in mind. Stephanie sat there. Stephan sits there and says, "We grill year round in Florida." Right. I mean, well, I'm sorry. I'm in Washington State, and I grill year round, even if it's below 10 degrees. I will grill if I want to eat grill. So just.
I do not see how you do it there. If it gets below 70 degrees, I'm in a sweatshirt and I'm hating life.
I've had people, because of my disability, people say, you need to be in warmer weather. That's the problem. Even in warmer weather, I get hurt. So I can't win for losing. So it's kind of like, okay, I'll just grin and bear it and try to keep a smile. And I mean that's the way to be with your product. I mean, you have to have a sense of humor to come up with a name like that and be willing to flaunt it.
Yeah, I mean, the other day we actually had some products that were potentially going to come out and ended up not coming out, and they were board shorts. And I have a couple of the prototype pairs, and I'm walking through Walmart with a pair of board shorts on that say "Rub My Meat" right next to my meat, and I'm wondering why everybody's looking at me so weird. And I looked down, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." Makes sense.
You know what? I would buy those. I would buy those, and I'd wear them to the commissary.
Oh.
Just because I could. I love it. I'm the type of person, I actually wear those shirts that everybody wants to buy, will buy it, and then say, I can't wear this in public. I wear them in public.
We do have a organic protein shake t-shirt on the website. I think it's on like the second or third page. We kind of hide it from some of our retailers. They get a little sensitive sometimes, but on the last couple pages, we got some funny ones hidden back there.
All right, guys, that's the challenge now. Go and look and see if there's any t-shirts that you would, and if you buy, I want you to send a picture to WTF or to Grill My Ass Off showing that you wore it out in public.
Yeah, I mean, if we get some cool t-shirt or cool photos of guys in the swag and all that kind of stuff, I'll send them some seasonings out.
You hear that, guys? So you know what? I'm in the market for some t-shirts. I may have to get a t-shirt. I go out. I go camping, and everybody knows I'm the guy on Sun. I'm the guy out of all the WTF staff that talks about getting out, going on vacations, using your benefits, right? And there are campgrounds that are not on the base or are away from the main part of the base that are in the woods, or they're on lakes, or one is on the ocean, or several are on the ocean, okay? And I actually go to those. And in fact, the picture that's behind me right now, that's actually a Pikes Peak. Let me see.
I've been there twice. I love that place.
And the picture that it's up now is actually off the coast of Whidbey Island. And that's the type of places I go to. And I just got a 36-foot motorhome. Used, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And this will be my first year out with it. And I'm looking for things to do because I'm also going to be doing my own episodes on RVs because a lot of people don't know about it. And so, But what I'm going to be doing is getting pictures, and I'm sitting there going, how can I spark interest by doing silly stuff like having T-shirts that say things that will get people's attention? So I may have to do this.
100%. I mean, and that's going back to the principle of all of it. It's to have fun with life.
Exactly.
Especially, and whether you're a veteran or not, we all go through way too much serious shit in life. So it's kick back, enjoy it, laugh, smile, and have fun.
And you know, guys, Josiah brought up, I get that some are ass hurt about some of those shirts. Tell you what, Josiah, I have one that says I invest in precious metals, lead. I get looks. I support the Second Amendment, things like that. I have, and it says, I have a shirt that says, I support the Second Amendment. I don't care. Okay, I'm medically retired 100%. I don't work. So it's not like someone can call up my boss and tell me off. Okay? And if someone's going to get ass hurt, I've actually had a couple of people say, that's not appropriate here. And I said, okay, fine. Do you mind if I take my shirt off right now? And see if you can see a fat old man with no shirt on? Well, that's not appropriate. I said, so which would you rather have me do?
I really need to come out with the shorts now, because if you take your shorts off in the commissary, that's going to be a good video.
But see, the funny part is when I go to the commissary, I catch people laughing at my shirts. Nobody.
That's because we're all a little twisted in our mind.
Exactly. Everybody gets it. When I wear them off, my wife will sit there and say, "We're going off base, honey," and I'm like, "But I wanna," and she's like, "Not here, please." But sometimes I'll still do it, and people will sit there and they won't say a word, but they'll sit there and stare. They will stare daggers at me. But I don't mind. Everybody knows Pookie. You may not know Pookie, but everybody knows Pookie on WTF. Pookie is one of those people too. He doesn't care what he's seen in. Pookie will just as happily go out in pajamas, a onesie, and not care who's watching. I'm the same way. I don't care who sees me, because, quite honestly, if you're so wrapped up in yourself that you have to get all butthurt about what I'm wearing, there's something wrong with you. You need a chill pill. I mean, really, come on, get a life. Put your energy to something else, you know?
That goes back to, just seeing like negative actions on social media. Like if someone's going to take that much time and effort out of their day to be able to post that, you got to sit back and look at it and be like, God, I feel sorry for you.
Exactly. And that's the way I look at things. And that's kind of what I try to remind people in my audience what to do is smile. Remember that all it takes is you making a choice. One little choice makes another choice, makes another choice, makes another choice, and eventually you become positive.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize if I'm harping on the swag, but I love finding T-shirts that are worth it. Those are fun when you can wear something that just you look at it and go, damn, I gotta have that. And I saw those T-shirts. I will be doing that.
And they are on a super comfy 60/40 cotton poly blend, so it's no cardboard T-shirt after one wash or anything like that.
So everybody, we're supporting a veteran. We're supporting our veteran community, as we always try to reinforce when we have a guest. This is something that will profit the veteran community and profit nonprofits that are for the veteran community. And not only that, you're getting... Okay, Koz and I were talking about it, everybody. Being shut down, being shut in your house, you're running out of stuff to do with your food. Well, we know Amazon delivers during the shutdown. So order it. Get yourself a shipment of this stuff and try it out. And you know what? I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you did with it. I mean, we're in a shutdown, although hopefully not too much longer. But because we're in the shutdown, share your experience and say, you know what? I tried this stuff. It worked great with this. I did this. It enhanced it. Or I just use it straight out of the bottle like this. And boy, I tell you what, it worked. That's the type of stuff that is great feedback, not just for grill your ass off, but also it's good for WTF to know that, because then we can say, hey, everybody, he was on the show, he supports the veteran community, and now we can say that people like his product. Because right now, I can tell you, I haven't tasted his product. So how can I say?
We'll get some ass in your mouth for sure.
Thank you.
And on that, I know you said Amazon, but actually, if you order off the website, 99% of the time, especially right now with the pandemic, we'll actually ship it out to your door faster than Amazon will deliver it to you.
Well, I was using Amazon as the example, as everybody's getting stuff from Amazon right now.
We do have it on Amazon. and Walmart.com.
Really?
But I will say 99% of the time we will get it faster to your front door than Amazon will.
Okay. Well, everybody,
that's something I take pride in.
Everybody, you just heard it. Okay. Well, go to now. I at the top you will see the Facebook page, and I'm sure if you go to his Facebook page, you'll be able to connect to his website and you'll be able to order. Am I correct?
Yep. You'll see it on there. If not, just go to grillyourassoff.com. And we have all the products on there. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, you can hit us up on any of our social media platforms. We have a customer support chat on the bottom right of the website. We're normally here to answer it pretty much 24/7. So y'all drop in, feel free, ask us anything. Any questions, like you were saying, go out and try something for a change. Mix it up. Do something out of your comfort zone for cooking. If you've never cooked a brisket and you always want to cook a brisket, well, go to the grocery store and get a brisket. Try it with our gunpowder. I don't care if you just use salt and pepper on it. Just get out and enjoy the experience of not only cooking, either if you're alone, by yourself, enjoy that process of being able to create an amazing piece of food, or with your family. Enjoy spending the time with your family and creating something. You can't beat that.
Exactly. And I'm going to say, guys, remember, the weather has been changing. Where I'm at, even though it's we had overcast this week, it was still warm enough that I can grill. Don't think because you're shut in
I thought you only
can't
had
grill.
overcast up there in Washington.
What?
I thought you only had overcast in
That's
Washington.
on the east. That's on the west side.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Everybody gets that. Everybody's like, oh, Seattle. No, I'm not Seattle. I'm not that way. No, thank you. Do not relate me to those people. We have been trying to secede for years. I'm on the east side, and I'm proud of it. We actually have seasons.
Good.
So, no, everybody, think about this, and I'm going to reinforce this. Okay, how many of you have sat there and said, "Well, I'm shut. It's a shutdown." Okay, fine. How many of you have grills? How many of you can go out and get one of those little tiny Coleman grills, take it out on your steps, and grill right now? I mean, come on. A little tiny Coleman grill is nothing cost-wise. Little canister of propane, and you can grill up some food, even if you're in an apartment, and at that point, you're not shut in because you just got some good fresh meat out on the grill. And that will actually help you feel better because, one, you're outside, and two, it doesn't taste like everything else. And that's something...
It's a lot better than your microwave dinner.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're stuck. What are you doing? You're microwaving your food. You're eating Velveeta by the spoonful. You're eating mayonnaise with a spoon. Come on, people. At some point, you can pull it. And if you sit there and say, well, I don't have a grill or I live in an apartment, tell you what, I know for a fact, a little Coleman grill is not that expensive. You're talking $20, $30. And then the little propane canisters, they're $5, $10. Hook one of those suckers up. You can put it out on your balcony or on the stairs that lead into your apartment and sit out there and grill. And
we have recipes on the website that don't even require a grill, to where you can go on our website and I have a recipe video showing you how to cook a steak in your dishwasher.
Wow. Okay.
And that's another fun thing. Like we are in the greatest time possible in the history of America to be in a pandemic.
Yes.
If we would have been in this pandemic in 1990,
oh God,
or 95, pre-internet, or the beginning phases of internet, you'd have the newspaper. That's what would brighten your day.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And not only that, think about this, guys. You were in the military. You embraced the suck. You used to get your MREs warm, you used to drive around with them in the engine. Okay? You can't tell me you can't figure out how to cook some meat so it tastes like it's grilled. Okay? You can't tell me you can't. Because you did stuff like that. That was your training. I mean, come on, man. I used to watch guys sit there and pull out their MREs, throw them in the engine, or do this or do that. And that was just because they wanted a hot meal. Well, you can have a hot meal at your home, but now why not grill it? Make it even better. And these are the seasonings that will give you a chance to even top that off. And he's got a sampler pack, which is not expensive. And find out what you like. And it's a variety. Think about it, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to preach, and he hasn't paid me a cent to boost his stuff here. But I'm trying very hard to remind everybody. We have embraced the suck. We are the top 4% of the United States because we answered the call. We know what it is to wake up and not be in a bed. We know what it is to wake up and eat cold crap. So we can make it better because we knew how to make it better then. And
we should be setting the standard for the rest of America in times like these.
Exactly. You know what you do? You go and you figure out a way to cook. Do what he said. Do the dishwasher thing. Do that. Take a picture and say, look what I just did. Everybody, look. That is what is going to remind people. Because I don't know about you, but one of the places I was stationed at, it was known for rain. And rain and rain and rain and rain. Okay? And guys would come back from the field in groups. And you would be, if you lived on base, you would see the whole areas just light up all of a sudden. The husbands are home. And it didn't matter if it was raining. You saw every one of them out there grilling the first couple nights, no matter what. Why?
Yep.
Because that tasted good. It wasn't MREs. It wasn't from a tray. It wasn't anything processed. It was just simply meat over a fire. Rah.
And the best thing with that is, and one of the things that I love to drive home to people is, whether it's barbecue, you're a vegan, your wife bakes something, no matter what it is, good food brings people together, no matter your race, your political views, your religious views. Good food brings people together and helps continue the camaraderie between people.
And even if we're social distancing, tell you what, if I sit there and I take a picture and I put it on social media, how many people did you just encourage to do the same thing?
That's one of my favorite things, especially whenever we do a recipe videos. Or at the beginning of this pandemic, whenever everyone was in quarantine, we actually had a food contest on our website to where it was the Anything Goes contest. And literally you had a week to cook and plate whatever you wanted, your favorite meal, upload it to the website, and then we did an open voting to the public for the weekend. And whoever had the most votes won $100 gift card from us, and then second place was $50 and third place was $25.
Nice.
So get out of your comfort zone, or increase your comfort zone with whatever you're in, and enjoy the cooking of food with your friends, family. Obviously, we're staying 6 feet away from each other, so it might be a friend, not friends, but
that's the idea. And you know, everybody, Koz and I talk about, we've been talking about COVID for the last couple weeks. And when Koz goes and does his dinner, I try to remind you about being positive. I actually enjoyed talking to Jason because this is something positive you can do. It's something that everybody starts doing in April, May, because it's time to start saying, okay, we're in spring, we can start grilling. How many of you forgot about that? Because you were thinking, shut in, I'm shut in, we're supposed to be shut in, I can't do this. No! They're not saying you can't go out and walk. They're not saying you can't go out and grill. They're just saying you got to be social distance. Well, tell you what, having a nice open fire is still social distance, because it's not like 20 people are gathered around your barbecue nice and tight. That fire is going. That smoke is going. They're going to distance themselves.
100%. And not to go kind of off subject on cooking and food wise and everything, one of the things I love to do is promote veterans getting into business for themselves. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing all the Burbiz events so much, is it's literally speed dating with alcohol for business people and resources.
Yeah.
And utilize this time, whether you're working from home, you're unemployed, you have a ton of downtime because you're doing school from home, whatever your situation is, utilize the time to benefit yourself in the future. Anything that's worthwhile is going to take a long time.
Yes.
So don't look at anything for a fast, quick, easy monetary value. Look at something that you want to build and continue to build over time.
And I agree.
And being a veteran, you already have a head start on everyone else in America. It doesn't matter if you come from a low to no income family or a family who's a millionaire. You are taught a set of principles that no one else except for other veterans get taught and ingrained into them. And then once you get out of the military, yes, some of our veteran, the VA and some other stuff, it can be a headache, but you know what? It's there. And previous generations of veterans never had anything close to what we have today, whether it's from the federal resource or the state resource.
Oh, I agree.
And take advantage of what is there and available to you and utilize that to catapult yourself. That's what it's there for. And if you don't utilize it, it will go away.
And I will reinforce, everybody knows I'm Mr. Positive. They call me Mr. Rogers. And I will say this. Koz and I were talking about before, as far as, you have the choice of coming out of the COVID-19 shutdown either better or worse. Worse off or better off. All it takes is one choice. Make one choice to do one thing that is positive, and you'll find you keep making choices like that to grow off the one choice. So do some, when I'm talking about food is a choice. You can eat crap food. If you sit there and eat Velveeta and nachos, you're not going to feel so great after a day or two, okay? But if you go out and you grill meat, it's better, it's fresh, and it's going to be a better protein for you. You're making a choice to be healthy. And I'm advising, I can tell you from my own experience, meat gets bland. Having some seasonings help. Why not support a veteran when you get the seasonings rather than a big corporation that expects you to buy from them? Go to a veteran, and like Jason says, he's going to ship it out as quick as he can to you. So that's, to me, sounds like a good positive step. Remember, we are in the last week of April, everybody. Think about it. The time has flown. Think about this. We are in the last week of April. This week we will go into May. And what does that mean? It means we are in the bulk of spring, starting to get towards summer. And what does that mean? We should be outside doing stuff, even when they're telling us, oh no, you need to be shut in. So you know what you do? You pull out your grill. That is a great way to say, you know what? I'm going to do something that makes me feel good. It's a simple step, a simple choice. This is, go ahead. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh no, you're fine.
This is what we all need to remember as we go forward. Some states are going to open up, and some states aren't. If you aren't, don't allow that to stop you from grilling. Don't allow that to stop you from going for walks out in the sun. You need the vitamin D. Remember we've talked about the vitamin D that keeps you happy during the winter? You may still need it if you're not outside. Don't forget.
100%. That is so important. Is go out and take your dogs for a walk every morning.
Yeah.
Even if we don't have dogs, take yourself for a walk.
Hey, put yourself on a leash. Put yourself on a leash. Have your wife walk you and say, "Hey, she needed to walk something."
I mean, Carol Baskin does it with her husband, so
exactly.
I mean,
Carol Baskin, I love it. Remember this, and yes, I agree, Stefan. It is hurricane season. There are things out there, but that doesn't mean you can't go in between storms and go for a walk. It doesn't mean you can't fire up that grill. Do it. That's what.
I mean, you can put on rain boots and a rain jacket and go enjoy yourself.
Hey, like I said, when where I was stationed at one point, it rained about 300 days a year, and I'll tell you what, I still grilled. Did not stop me. It shouldn't stop you. You embraced the suck when you went in the military, and you're the top 4% of the United States. There's nothing that you can't do if you decide it. All right, everybody, we are at the top of the hour, and it's time to kind of start shutting things down. So thank you very much, Mr. Jason, for coming on the air and telling us about your product. I do appreciate it.
No problem. I had a blast, and I appreciate you having me on.
Anytime. And again, you know what? If you get some fun pictures, please get them to the station. We can use a good laugh.
Yeah, for sure. And if anyone, again, has any questions on our product, wants to send us some photos with our product, at Grill Your Ass Off on Instagram or Facebook is the best place to do it. We're always on there. We're ready to talk with y'all about products. Any cooking questions you have, any help you need, we're there to help and provide help to you, as well as business advice. If you need help with the business or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. I love to be able to help other veterans.
Thank you very much, Jason. And by the way, hello, Erna. Good to see you. I'm saying hello to some of my audience. Okay. All right, everybody. We are at the top of the hour. I'm going to start doing house cleaning. Let's all thank Jason for coming and telling us about his product. If you like the idea of having these seasons, go look him up. It is in the description, so don't hesitate to go there. And let's support our veterans. Let's support our nonprofit communities, and let's just plain remember to have some fun. All right, Jason, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go ahead and do house cleaning here.
All right, have a good night. Thank you again.
You too. Thank you. All right, everybody. We are at the top of the hour. That means it is time to go ahead and close it out. So, here we go. Let's see. We have guests. Be our guest. There we go. On the 28th of April, with this coming Tuesday, we have comedian. Ooh, I need to do this. Ooh, there we go. We have comedian P.J. Walsh. Returning guest P.J. Walsh is a Navy veteran who is now a comedian. He has performed 20-plus tours to the troops in Iraq and Afghanistan and has toured with the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. P.J. is also partnered with the organization Armed Services Arts Partnership. That will be this Tuesday. Okay, everybody? So that's CQs, and that should be fun. All right, everybody, we have shows. We have shows on Monday, the Monday Night Edition with Ice and Flash. We have Tuesday shows, Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Radar. Wednesdays are our Donza or Meditation Days. Thursdays are Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. And then you have Sundays, of course, Kicking It with Koz and Owl. Owl is me. All right, everybody. We're getting to that point where I try to say something witty or nice or positive, and I am going to say something. Y'all, we've been locked up for anywhere between a month, maybe even more. Some of y'all are going to be able to get out, and some of you aren't. Did you realize the 1st of May is this Friday? We're there. If it is nice out, grill. If it is nice out, go for a walk. If it is not nice out, as long as you don't catch a cold, go for a walk. Grill. Do something that reminds you that you aren't inside. Because if you don't, that's how you end up coming out of this worse for wear. Okay? All right, everybody. I'm John Owl. This is Kicking It with Koz, and I'm going to say what I always say because I truly mean it. Keep it simple. Keep it real. And remember to smile because you just don't know who you're going to help with that smile, including yourself. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your week. Don't forget the shows. Don't forget to go to Grill Your Ass Off and check them out for seasonings because I know I will be. And you have a good rest of your week and a good rest of your evening. Love y'all. Good night.
Every morning seems just the same old routine. Blowing trees, writing these bars, line after line, mining for a diamond, but a dime is what I find. Hiding from the truth by simply coasting through these hard times with green, even though I'm feeling blue. But I gotta face the facts, girl, you know that it's true. And maybe what I'm supposed to do is not to get so close to you. But these days the only things that seem great are fading away. And the only time I feel home is when I'm alone or far away. But the road call says the wind blows. 10 missed calls on my flip phone, so it stays closed. Staring out my window while my mind slowly goes off into my headphones. Hoping that the dough will be worth it for the show, but who knows?
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change, no. We're never gonna change.
Man, day after day, it's just the same old thing. Working class life, and yes, it surely will bring a food to the table and a roof when it rains. But for the most part, you're just doing the same thing. A part of a machine with the ball and a chain. You try to be happy, yet all you feel is pain. It's a shame to use your brain and know that some will never change. But if insanity's the game, then you can take my hand and play. Life has a rhythm that I ride to, and you can come along if you would like to. And I can show you what it's like to walk in my shoes, to learn how to love just like I do. Look me in the eye and you will find truth. I'm testifying to the lying in my mic booth. And you're hating on me cause I ain't like you, and I ain't like you.
Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change, no. We're never gonna change. Yo, my life is like a movie that nobody's producing. I write the music but nobody is moving, cause don't nobody care and everyone's confused till the characters change and never reaching a conclusion. And I don't know if I'll make it to the end, cause all I know is after we begin, the wind shifts us in many different directions, like the pen lifts up off the paper, disconnected from anything we can feel, hear and see. And the words that I write mean something more than just to me. It's amazing that we've all grown accustomed to change, cause we can rearrange a pattern that's always been ingrained. They want us to grow up and stop acting how we want, but if you tell me I can't do something, I'll make sure it gets done. Yeah, let's go and roll it up, blow it all away. No sense in growing up, we laugh like kids all day. And there's nothing you can say that will ever make us change, no. We're never gonna change.
WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.